Alright, Bapu, so this video is for you to show your dad on the damage and what I want done on the Newport. So it is a very big car. It's 18.6 feet long. And basically, got hit here. I got a new trunk lid over there that I'm going to put on. It's completely straight. It doesn't need any work. Just needs to be, I guess, it's just surface rust, sanded down, and then painted with the rest of the car. So I'm going to put the new trunk lid on. But basically, the damage first was right there, up here on the roof. You can see, so it's got this dent here, and then there's a wrinkle right there. And then over here, just hit right there, right here, here. Some scratching here. It doesn't look like there was any damage, but you can see there's a dent there. And I actually feel like I could pop most of that up by hand, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna wait for him to do it because it might cause more issues, so I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna let him do it. And you can see right here, the boat out. And up here just looks like it was some scraping. Didn't look like it actually dinged anything. Maybe a couple of dings, but so basically, yeah, the roof, and then this panel over here. Alright, so it's a lacquer paint job. So oh wait, no, it got hit down here too. That looks like that just took the paint off though. Maybe dinged some of the metal. I don't know. Hit there too. Basically, so the whole car is going to have to be stripped and painted after the damage is fixed. And I want to get the body leveled properly, and there's some rust in some areas. Like you can see, the metal's kind of wavy in some spots. There's a little bit of rust here on this side. And the reason for that is there was a water leak around here, and then around this area here that I put sealer on so the water wouldn't get in there anymore. That's why there's rust there. It looks like there was some bad bondoing done here before, maybe just like some surface level kind of leveling that was trying to be done. So, and then there's rust over here in the same spot. Overall, the car doesn't really look like it has a lot of rust. There was rust back here and back here behind the windshield. So the rear window is going to have to come out. The rust around, that's why I have the silicone here, is because there's a huge water leak into the trunk. I can show you from this side. Let me get a flashlight. Okay, so you can see that curved area there with the screws. and that white sealant poking through, that's where the rear window sits. And the water was just leaking into the trunk. There's a massive leak there. There was a leak up here too, because there's rust there. Let me get out of the trunk here. So there's rust along here, here, up here, where I put the sealant so it wouldn't leak anymore. There. And honestly, I'm not really too concerned about those areas. We can fix it if it's not too big of a deal. There was rust up along here too. I'm not so much concerned about that. Maybe I can fix that with some fiberglass myself. It doesn't have to look perfect. I could probably fix that myself. But the areas that I'm really concerned about having your dad doing are behind the windshield in here, fixing the rust back in here once the glass is out. I guess just have him give me a quote for fixing this stuff back here too, while he's in there. And there's rust back behind here that needs to be fixed, and some more silicone here. This panel here, you can see it's a little wavy right here. It's pretty solid though. I don't think it's rusted through. From inside the trunk, it doesn't look like it's rusted through. It's basically just the rust around back in here and here, and I'm sure there's probably some over on that side too. I don't know for certain. Overall, the body's pretty straight. I don't think it really has a ton of rust. Down here along the doors, not really concerned about that. I can kind of fix that with a little bit of fiberglass myself. But basically, he doesn't have to do the door jambs, because I know that's going to be a lot of extra money and a lot of extra work. So we don't have to do the door jambs. Just fixing the body damage, the rust back in here, fixing the rust on the quarters, doing whatever leveling on the body needs to be done in the paint. So the windshield up here is cracked. I'm trying to source a windshield and the rubber for these. If he does that, if he's knows how to do that, if he's good at doing it, pulling the glass out on these old ones. I know there's a method where you like wrap it with string or rope or whatever and pull the glass out. I'll just have him do it. If he doesn't want to do it, I can have somebody else pull the glass out and then bring the car to him to do it, so that he can paint in behind the windshield and fix whatever rust is back there. This old cracked up seam sealer here is going to need to be, and I put some there because it was really bad, is going to need to be fixed too. And the hood up here, everything's pretty good up here. Not really any rust up here to my knowledge. There's a ding here, and that trim will just have to be how it is, I guess. I don't know, because I can't really find any new trim for it. So my plan of attack here is I'm going to pull the trim off of it myself, so that would be easier for him. I'll pull all the trim off. If he can get the glass out, have him do the glass. If not, I can have somebody else pull the glass out of it. So I'll pull the trim off, bring it to him, have him fix the body damage, fix whatever rust and body leveling needs to be done to make the body straight, because there's some waves in it, and then have him paint it, and then I'll take it back, and either he puts the glass back in, depending, or I'll have my other guy put the glass back in. Then I'll take it back and put the trim back on myself. Just let me know what all needs to be pulled off. I'm hoping that this trim here around the windows can stay. I just don't know to what level he wants me to tear it down. I know that's, because getting the paint in around these areas here, then the whole window assembly is going to have to come out. If that's necessary, I'll do it. If not, I prefer to not have to pull that. But I can pull the body, I can pull the trim off, the lower trim down there. I can pull the door handles too, because I guess that's probably going to be a thing that needs to come out as well. So maybe the doors need to be disassembled. I don't know. He can let me know if it needs to be disassembled or not. But I'll take it apart to whatever extent it needs to be taken apart. And yeah, I mean, if there's any other info you need, just let me know. I think I pretty much covered everything and showed the entire car. Like I said, I'm gonna pull all the trim off. I guess probably pull the bumpers and the grill if needed. Hopefully I won't need to pull that, because that's gonna be a pain. But I'll pull all this trim off, and the trim around the glass, I'll pull that off too, unless he is good at getting it off. As I took half of the trim out here on the back glass off before. But it was kind of a pain. But I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to remove all that silicone. But yeah, and this trim here is basically just siliconed on right now, because all the clip anchors were rusted out underneath there, so it was barely hanging on anyway. So I'm probably just gonna have to silicone that piece to hold that trim back on afterwards. But yeah, I mean, I think that's everything. I think I've showed like all the bad parts of it. It's really not that bad. It's actually in pretty good shape. But like I said, he doesn't need to do the door jambs. We can leave the door jambs alone. And I guess just let me know to what extent we need to tear the doors and the windows and all that apart. I can take this off pretty easy. But yeah, I'll put the trunk lid on too. And then it was back here again, just to reiterate, there was this rust up here. There was some rust there, rust here. There's this body seam had rust on it too. I don't really know if that's worth fixing, because I just wire brushed it and then put the seam sealer over it. Just because trying to get into that, I mean, I guess you would just have to cover that up with Bondo anyway. I don't know, or fiberglass, but it's fine like it is. It's not going to rust anymore, so it's really okay like it is. And I can pull the back trim off here too, tail lights, bumper if needed. So yeah, I think that's everything. I guess if I missed anything, just let me know. But hopefully with this, he'll be able to give me a decent quote. There's some bubbling right there, so there's probably a little bit of rust back here too, like I suspected. And then of course around here, this is body seam sealer in around here, around the window edges. That needs to be redone because it's all cracked up. So, okay. I won't go on for too much longer. Just let me know. Thank you.